Hello there, planner fans. This is my second or third take on this video. I wanted to do a video for you guys all about how to bullet journal in an Erin Condren life planner. If you don't know what bullet journaling is, stop right now and go check out my other bullet journaling videos first. It'll give you the real nitty-gritty details of how to use this system. And I started making this video and realized that I was just making it way too complicated. And you guys are probably here because you know what bullet journaling is and you just want to make sure that it works for you in an Erin Condren. The beauty of a bullet journal system is that it's just that. It's a system. You can use it in any type of planner that you could possibly think of. And I'm just going to show you guys how to do it in a Erin Condren. You could use this in a Plum paper planner. You could use it in pretty much any type of planner that has room for notes and also has a daily section. For the longest time I was using my Midori, and you know, I may or may not move back into that. Who knows? You know, if you guys are anything like me, which you probably are because that's why you're here, you will use a planner for a couple of months and then miss your old one and move back into it, and then miss your previous one and move back into that. So I'm trying to kind of figure out a system to incorporate these two items together, because bullet journaling in a Midori really allows for just a total and complete brain dump system. If you have a lot of to-dos that come to mind, or ideas or things that come to you like I do, it's really, really nice to have something that's very, very fluid like a Midori bullet journaling system, so that you don't have to be quite as restrained with a planner kind of like this. But this, the way that I'm using this, I've been doing this since October and it's actually worked out really well for me, so I don't really have complaints either way. I love Midoris. They're beautiful. I make these. They're in my Etsy shop. They're different color than this. They're the light untanned leather, so that'll change over time. But I just love everything about Midori, or traveler's notebooks rather, in general. So just, this is a self-contained planner system the way that I have it set up. Like I said, check out my other video for more details about that. But here's the bullet journal right here. And then here is the calendar that I designed, which is also available in my Etsy shop, which I'll link below. But you kind of, for bullet journaling to work, sorry, there's a motorcycle going by outside. For bullet journaling to work for me, I need a brain dump section, but I also need a forward planning system. I have a lot of things as far as needing to plan. My guy's in the Navy, so I need to plan his underways or duty days and things like that. So I have to have some kind of calendar, which is why I developed this system. So if you want to see how I do it in here, check out, I think it's Midori Bullet Journaling 101. Now, basically, you're using the exact same system in here. You have your daily brain dump, and you have your monthly brain dump, I guess. So your daily brain dump rather, and your monthly catch up, I guess you would call it, where you kind of make sure all those little things don't slip through the cracks and you transfer them to your monthlies. You have the same kind of system here. So this is your monthly, like, catch-all, I guess, and then your weekly notes and your daily would be like your weekly daily brain dump. So I'm not going to really go into too much about how I plan in my Erin Condren. There's plenty of Plan With Me videos for that, but basically I just use my monthly as kind of a broad visual of, you know, birthdays, or these are duty days. So this is a little anchor I mark off, you know, when I have to fend for myself for dinner because he does all the cooking. This is a sticker I got for my dog's flea medications. This is a vacation day for me. Long-term things, you know, this is something that was going on for a week. Payday, Chiro reset. I kept forgetting. The way my chiropractor works is you pay a monthly fee and you get to go in 4 times a month, and the amount of times resets on the 12th, so I kept forgetting, so I put it there. Birthdays. This is, you saw it over here too, but this is a stamp set from Sweet Stamp Shop called Plan Women. It's got all kinds of women folk type planning stuff, period, a new pill pack, that kind of stuff. This shows that the boyfriend's mother is going to be in town this week, so I have that marked off with washi tape, and here is an Avery label. So the way that I use my monthly here is exact same way that I would use my monthly in a Midori like this. So anything that didn't get finished from the weeks or the months beforehand gets transferred over or carried over into, let's see, here's a good example right here. At the beginning of every month, you look back at the previous weeks, and anything that didn't get taken care of gets moved into your monthly collection here. So if it's something that's imperative, it gets done sooner, you can put like an asterisk or a exclamation point next to it. I really only use 3 or 4 different notations. So you can see on here, I have an arrow to show it got migrated elsewhere. I have a check mark to show that it got checked off. And then right here, I have, if it becomes obsolete or if I don't need to do it, I'll cross it off. Let's see if I can find a place where I have an asterisk or a star. Oh, actually, I take that back. I do have I think it's a 4th method. So this circle right here notates that it was like an event. When you bullet journal in your Erin Condren, you don't have to use that circle because you put the actual event on the day, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. But this shows that I wrote it down and then marked it into my calendar here as an event. So this is like an appointment. So that went into my calendar, so I knew that I had to do that appointment on that day. I'm trying to find, I know that I have in here somewhere where I had an asterisk next to something, or even a question mark. Like this meant I wasn't sure if maybe I needed to go to Staples, maybe I needed to go to CVS. You know, like it's not super important. Oh, here we go. It was really important. I worked out that day, so I put a star next to it. Okay, so my notations are very, very simple in my Midori, or my Travelers. Nope, sorry, my bullet journaling system. So that's kind of how I do my monthly first. I plan out the stuff that I know that I have for that month, and then anything that didn't get finished in the weeks and the months before gets moved over here. Now, I work with animals for a living, and so I'm on my feet running in and out of, different animal habitats throughout the day. So I don't necessarily have the opportunity to just run and grab my Midori or my planner or whatever it is that I'm using to write stuff down. So I also use a digital bullet journaling system. On my phone, I have a notes app, and I have one note page titled bullet journal. So if there's something that I need to remember at that moment, I'll type it in there and then come back and transfer it into my planner at a later time, and then I'll delete it from that digital bullet journal. So that just kind of helps. I even did that when I had my Midori. So if you're out and about and you for some reason don't have your planner with you, there's no reason to let those things slip through your mind. Just write it down somewhere first, and then you can go back and transfer it in later. So this is a really busy week. Basically, before I do anything, I'll stamp in my workout schedule. I was doing a green smoothie this week, so I was just doing really easy walks with my dog, Ruby. I call her Doobs. And then I also will stamp in my work schedule and which shift that I'm working. So each group of animals that I'm working with that day has a different shift, so I can know, which animals I'm working with, and that determines what my shift hours are. And then I made these cute little stickers with my Copic markers, my Avery my Avery stickers, and then my stamp set from Studio L2E. And yeah, so that's kind of just how I set up my week first. Mark off my weekends. Sorry, I bumped the camera. My weekends are Friday, Saturdays, so I mark off the weekend here. I did it here also, Friday, Saturdays. And yes, I need to plan me days where I don't do anything else, but today's Saturday. I forgot to do this yesterday, so we're taking care of this first before I can finish my Game of Thrones marathon. And then the next thing I will do is I will go into my bullet journaling under the goals and the notes. So the way that this is a little bit different than your Midori bullet journaling is you write down each new day as a new list. So July 19th, July 21, July 23. So each individual day has its own separate list. In an Erin Condren Life Planner, I kind of treat this as a running list throughout the week. So all of these things either got transferred from the previous week. So you can see these were either checked off or they had an arrow through them showing that I migrated them to the following week. So all of this, like the first half of this list was all the things I didn't finish last week. And then the rest of this was things that came to me from my digital bullet journal or things that I remembered at the moment. So you can also use your daily the daily portions right here as kind of a running bullet journal. I don't really do that because I'd rather write it all here and then dole it out per day as it goes. It's just a little bit more organized that way. But you could definitely use this as its own bullet journal for the day. So instead of, you know, let's say I had in here February 9th, these are all the things that I needed to do on that day. You could use that like this. But I put in my workout schedule, I put in my work schedule and all those other things in here, so I don't want to use up this room for stuff that can just go right here. That's kind of, this was a really full week. I have yet to run out of room yet over here, but that may be where I start incorporating this bad boy again, because as the weeks progress, sometimes your list gets really, really long and sometimes it shrinks up. So that's the beauty of a bullet journal too, is you could, you know, I tell people it's kind of like you're carrying a backpack around with you. You're constantly putting things in, but you're constantly taking things out. So at any given time, your to-do list or your backpack could be really, really full, or it could be really, really light. If you have something that must get done this week or must get done on this day, you can, you know, notate it with something like that. If you need, like I had to call my dad on this day because it was his birthday. So you kind of just find your own way that this works. So the other thing that I do is once I get my to-do list looking like this is starting to get a little bit overwhelming for me. So I'll sit down, you know, a couple times throughout the week and choose a few of these things that I want to do and dole them out throughout the week. So I knew, let's see, I bought a pencil case on Amazon. I think that was at, I can't remember the brand, but it's like the 100 pens case or whatever, and it ended up being huge, and so I didn't want to use it. So I wrote in here I needed to return the Amazon pencil case. I knew I was going past a UPS store on Thursday, so on Wednesday night I wrote print Amazon label, and on Thursday mail Amazon package. So yes, you have some sort of duplication going on here. So I had mail Amazon package and print Amazon label and return Amazon pencil case. But if you look at this as a whole task, I needed to return the pencil case. First step was to print the return label. Second step was to actually mail it. And I love checking things off, so I had no problem adding extra boxes for myself. So that's kind of how I make this system work for me. I knew, you know, I didn't write that I needed to do cleaning on Thursday night into my goals and notes over here. But when I was looking at this because I'll open this thing up every day and every couple of days. I love to plan. This really brings me a lot of joy to sit down and plan. So I knew on Thursday night I wanted to clean, so I broke it up into smaller tasks right there. So then I haven't caught up on my bullet journaling for this week into next week quite yet. So I have a couple open boxes in here still. But what I theoretically would do is on Saturday night or Sunday night, my weekends end on Saturday. So on Saturday night or Sunday night, I would sit down, I would look at this list right here and see if there's anything open here, any open boxes from the dailies here too, and then I would put them into this notes list right here. Okay, so you're just constantly transferring unfinished tasks from the weeks and the months before along to your next week. Like I said, people ask, what if there's something really, really important? Well, you need to highlight it or star it or something and make sure that it gets done. And then that way, when you move something over, you'll go back and you'll put an arrow through it so that you know that it either got finished or migrated. That way, that'll ensure that nothing slips through the cracks so you don't forget anything behind, okay? So this was the current week. Here was all my workout schedule. I stamped these. This is Studio LTE stamps right here, and then these are Sweet Stamp Shop. This is Studio LTE again. So workout schedule goes in first, then my work schedule, and then my bullet journaling from both my digital bullet journal and from the weeks before. And then I kind of, I'll go through my weeks and say, all right, I need to get gas on this day. I know I have a chiro appointment here. You don't necessarily have to put these things in this list if you can just write it directly into this day, okay? So you can avoid some duplication there. And then also, just so I'm not like constantly going through stickers, I needed to mail some orders on Monday night, but I got caught up at work, so I had to do it the next day. So I just used a simple arrow to push it over to this day, so I'm not constantly having to rewrite things all the time. I think that's all on there. And then because we're coming to the end of a month here, I'm going to do something kind of unique here. So when I go back to start planning for next month, this is pretty empty right now. This is the end of when the mom-in-law is in town. So I have a vacation day here, need to do Ruby's meds there. And then this is the end of her vacation right here, so that's all I have written in here. I'll plan in my duty days. I'll plan in any, underways for the boy. I'll plan in, any vacation days, or I'll plan in anything I know ahead of time that could go in here. But then I will take anything from this week or anything from this list right here. This is the most current list from my last three or 4 weeks. So I know that all I have to do is look at this list right here and transfer it over to this monthly right here. And then I'll also double check back on this monthly and see if there's anything that needs to get migrated over. So my month, once it gets to the end of the month, if it's still on my list of things to do, I can pretty much assume that it's not terribly important. So this one I will check probably only once or twice a month. These to-do lists are much more urgent, so I'll check these every single week, sometimes every single day. So because we're coming to our new month, all of the stuff from here that didn't get finished and anything that didn't get finished throughout the weeks will get put in here. So theoretically, you should not have to check back on your last 3 weeks to make sure that nothing got through, because if you're doing this correctly, nothing should have slipped through the cracks as you were moving these forward. So nothing from here should have gotten forgotten over here, and nothing from here should have gotten forgotten over here. If you want, like, as you're getting used to this, you can always just go back and double check to make sure there's no empty boxes. That this kind of eliminates having to be like, oh my gosh, I gotta look through this week and this week and this week. So theoretically, everything that's undone is right here. So all you have to do is flip from this page, check your monthly from the previous month, and then check your last week's goals and to-do list, okay? So it's just a continuous process, something that, is constantly evolving with you and, hopefully being very useful for you. And like I said, if you guys are here watching this video, probably a lot like me, and, who knows what planner system I'll be in next month. So I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment and ask below. Let me know if you guys like this. Let me know if you have a special request for a video. And that's kind of how I make this work for me. I really enjoy planners and planning, and I know all you guys do too. So thanks for joining me today, and have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.